Okay, somebody shared the Forza Motorsport 7 tracks tier list on Twitter. And honestly, I've always wanted to make a tier list video, so we're going to jump into it and put the tracks accordingly on the tiers. You have top picks, still good, okay, I guess, I'd rather not, and avoid at all costs. Okay, let's get into it. Bernese Alps, still good. I like every iteration of it, and I think it's a really fun track. Doesn't matter if you're driving P class, X class, or all the way down to the lower classes like E. So, still a fun track. Let's go with, I think this is Bathurst right here. Top pick. I love that track. It's one iteration. Doesn't matter what kind of cars you have on that track. That track kicks ass. It's so much fun. Okay, Brands Hatch. Now, this is where things get a little iffy for me. S and above cars don't belong on this track. Except for the only S cars that belong on here are the touring cars. That's it. That's it. And I'm going to put this in still good because I really like that track. And it's better for slower cars. Catalunya. I don't like Catalunya on any game, any iteration. Doesn't matter which cars, doesn't matter any circumstance. I don't like Catalunya. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I don't like Catalunya, so it's avoid at all costs for me. Circuit of the Americas. There's multiple iterations. Another fan favorite? No. I'd rather not. Now, while it's not the end of the world if I do race this track, I'd just rather not race it. Because screw COTA. Okay, so now we have Daytona International Speedway. Is this the try? Is this the 24-hour circuit? A combination of them? Let's do combination. So, top pick, boom. I love that track. It's one of my favorite ovals, even though it's like more like a tri-oval. And it's also one of my favorite tracks in terms of the 24-hour Daytona layout. Absolutely love it. I'll race that track for hours on end. Dubai, Circuit of the Emirates. Avoid at all costs. That track, the short iteration was great for NASCAR when Torres NASCAR hosted a race there. That's the only time I've had fun at that track. Now, everything else is no good. The main full track is especially bad because it's not really a racetrack. It's more or less like a drifting of through the mountains and such. And it could have been done better, I think. Hockenheim Ring. I'm going to put this on still good. Still one of my favorite places to race. It's not a top pick for me, but I really love this track. The mini version is great for slower cars. And, of course, the bigger tracks, good for all your faster GT racing. Homestead-Miami. I'd rather not. What really ruins it for me is the circuit tracks. Really don't like the iteration. Don't like the turns. Don't like the layout. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Okay, we have a lot more to go through, so let's speed this up. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm going to put okay, I guess, on this one. This will be the first mid-tier racetrack. It is a good racetrack. It feels great. Doesn't matter what I'm driving, but there's something about it. Mainly Sector 3, with some of the harsh turns. A lot of people like to lunge there, especially the bend on Turn 1. It could be bad, too, for people who want to just send it. So, it's okay, I guess. Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Oh, I have a love-hate. I used to absolutely love this. This used to be a top pick for me. But I'll put it in the still good category because I love it. I love Laguna Seca. The circuit, 24-hour Circuit de Le Mans. This will be a still good for me. It's not a top pick. Very good racetrack. Has that long stretch of track, obviously the 8 mile or whatever it is back straight there. The track itself is a little boring, but it's manageable. It's good. It's fast. It's fun. So it's still good. Lime Rock Park. Okay, so faster cars, I'm not a big fan of it here. Something like A-Class and S-Class is pretty good here. I'll put Lime Rock Park on okay, I guess. I used to be a bigger fan of it, but now it's kind of just dropped down for me. So, yep, mid-tier for Lime Rock Park. Toyota Grand Prix, Long Beach. A lot of people will back out when Long Beach pops up. A lot of people really bitch and moan and groan when Long Beach comes up on a league race. But for me, it's a top pick. I love this track. And if you remember Muddy Gamer, we used to always race Long Beach, and I built up a respect for that track. I already liked the track. But then once his community started racing Long Beach like on a weekly basis, we got pretty good at it, and it was fun, and it's punishing, but it's also really rewarding, so it's a top pick for me. Maple Valley Raceway, I would rather not. It's a legendary track in its own right, but it's not my favorite by any means, so it's going to be on a lower tier. Monza, still good. I really like Monza. I know turn 1, that chicane is ass because nobody knows how to use the brake, but the track is still good. It's a very simple track. Once you get past that first chicane, it's pretty much easy going. I'm very consistent around that track. Doesn't matter which car I'm in. It's fun to drive. If you make a mistake, it really punishes you. But it's a quality track, so it's still good. Mugello. This is also still good. Love this track. It just flows so good. Doesn't matter if you're in a slow car, fast car, one of those big-ass semi-trucks. Mugello always is a fun track. Nurburgring. This is a top pick, mainly because I think Nürburgring GP is one of the best racetracks in the world. So there's my bias into that. Then you tack on the Nordschleife. Oh my god. It gets even better. So it's like one of the best tracks in the world. So definitely a top pick. Prague. I know the fans love Prague, right? No, everyone hates Prague, except for me. I'm going to put this in okay, I guess. It's mid-tier. I've had some excellent races around Prague, and that's with slow cars and the fast cars. Again, Torres NAFCAR was another good race where people were just eating shit, going into the walls, going into the tires, and it just made for a good race. And also, the short iteration of that track is my favorite. The longer track is okay, but honestly, if the longer version had a better layout, it would go up to still good for me, as I prefer the short layout. Rio, another hated track. What the hell is this? Oh, it's Road America. Well, since I already grabbed it, let's do Road America. Okay, I guess. Very simple layout. Somehow this track always kicks my ass. I don't know what it is about it. I struggle around it, but it's still a good, fun track. It's simplistic layout, in all honesty, but I just need a good apparently. Okay, Rio. I actually really like Rio. I really like Rio, almost as much as Long Beach in terms of street racing. I prefer the mid layout. The mid layout is my favorite. The longer layout is too much. So I'm going to put it in the okay, I guess, because of the long layout. Honestly, if it wasn't for that big-ass layout where you're going in and out of the mountain area, I would bump it up to still good. But I actually really do like Rio, so there's that. Okay, Road Atlanta. I love Road Atlanta. It is a top pick. Really good. I just love this track. Road Atlanta is definitely a top track on this game. Sebring, I'm going to put it as not still good, but okay, I guess. Mid-tier. The track itself is fine, but the track limits and just, I don't know. I've had some bad experiences on Forza Motorsport 7 with Sebring, so stay away from that, I guess. Or it's mid-tier. It's okay, I guess. Silverstone. Silverstone I'm putting as still good because it's Silverstone. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's a great track, and yeah, definitely have to race it if it comes up. It's fun. Okay, next up is Sonoma, and this is a still good. This is still good. Sonoma is quality, and I think it has 2 or 3 layouts, 2 for sure, but I think this track is great. I always have great races. The flow of the track is always just stellar for me, and I really like it. And I think you will too. That's why it's on the higher tier. Spa. This is Spa right here. And I'm going to put Spa on still good. I really hold that track in high regard. I've had some great races on there. And I've seen some excellent crashes on Forza Motorsport 7 on Spa. But I'm only going to put it on the still good because of the way the start-finish line is. Not a big fan of that. I wish they also utilized the pit lane better for endurance racing. So if they would have had those things kind of figured out better, I would have put that on the top pick. Suzuka. Suzuka is also still good because, well, there's nothing really wrong with the track. It kind of does feel weird on Sector 3. But Sector 2 going into Sector 3, I mean, it's still a quality track. I've seen good races here. I've had good races here. I've commentated good races here. And it's just a good place. Test track. I don't like this track. I'd rather not. Avoid it at all costs. Just let's not race this at all. It's only good if you're doing the perimeter track and don't make a serious race here. If you're like in a league, if you're a person who is in control of a league and trying to find tracks, don't ever use this track or nobody's going to sign up. I mean, it's just ass. Another one, Top Gear. Boom. Avoid it at all costs. Nothing good or redeeming about this track. The two really, really short iterations of this is really not fun. The crisscross crash one version of it is fun sometimes, but it's just more annoying than anything. Virginia International Raceway, if this was just the full circuit, it would honestly be a still good for me. But considering there's like 13 iterations of this track, and it plagues the multiplayer hopper really, really bad, and you always get the worst iteration of the track on Forza Motorsport 7, this one gets an avoid at all costs. Watkins Glen, for me, is a top pick. Watkins Glen, doesn't matter if you have the short track, the one with or without the bus stop chicane, or the long one with the entire boot. I love Watkins Glen. It's perfect for every single race. It flows so good. It's so much fun to be on. It's so much fun to commentate races on here, and it's so much fun to actually race on this track. So it goes on the top pick for me. Last but not least is Yas Marina. And even with the weird track limit situation and all the different iterations, I would rather not. If it pops up, I won't leave the lobby. And if it shows up in a league, it's not like I'm not going to show up that week just because it's Yas Marina. But I'd rather not. It's just a bad circuit on Forza Motorsport 7. So my top picks is Mount Panorama, Daytona, Long Beach, Nurburgring, Road Atlanta, and Watkins Glen. I'm not going to obviously list everything, but those are my top picks. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.